Hello everybody, US Geoguessr Professor here. I am going to be playing another seed in the form of a challenge from Reldrik. Shout out Reldrik, check out his channel, Geoguessing with Reldrik. It's always really cool to see another content creator focusing at least some of the time on US exclusive Geoguessr. I'm a US only player, so I always love to see how my skills stack up with others, especially other content creators. So thanks, Reldrik. Throw him some likes, give him some subscribes and some joins and some donations on PayPal through his page. It's linked in the video here. And we will be playing the good old United States Alcatraz cable car map, 3 minutes per round, moving. I will try to teach you as much as I possibly can about the United States. Okay, we have a hilly landscape. We have North Hills there and Crestwood. All right, the first thing I notice is that most of these houses are, oh no, I take that back. Okay. These aren't really Pittsburgh houses. They're not the like split level kind of houses that you would normally see around there. I'm trying to get some plates. One thing I have noticed is that, man, Reldrik moves so much more quickly and just picks up so many more clues than I do. It's really from being a no-moving player. Even when I have the opportunity to move, I don't do it quick enough. Gretchen Fleming, where are you missing from? I'm a true crime fanatic, but unfortunately, never heard of Gretchen Fleming, and I don't know where we are. These plates are giving me nothing, too. They're giving me, absolutely nothing. Okay, Twin Lakes Road, 2/8. 2/8. We're in West Virginia. But where are we in West Virginia? I don't recognize those signs. We are in my home state of West Virginia. But why can't I figure out where? North Hills, 2/8. 2/8. So that means we're probably near Route 2. North Hills residents only. North Hills Drive, 2/8. Where would look like this and be this hilly and be off of the 2? We're not in Huntington, are we? That was a Marshall flag. That was a Marshall flag. Wow. North Hills, though. Where? I have no idea where North Hills is. North Hills. See, everything's to the south. I'm so confused and I'm so, ridiculously lost. But I think we're in Parkersburg. I gotta be getting close. Okay. All right, well, we have this Glowing Canyon 899 again that 5K'd it. We have another player, Sujan Sam, who also 5K'd. She possibly has played 26 games. She is a level 10. Okay. So they both managed to 5K an incredibly obscure suburban intersection in Parkersburg, West Virginia. That's my home state. You saw me, I was scrambling to figure out where we could possibly be until the very last second. I miraculously managed to plunk 2 blocks away, which honestly is probably one of my best plonks in the US of all time, given the amount of clues I had. And two players from India, two players with really no GeoGuessr experience really from India managed to 5K this. So either there are two of the best US Geoguessr players in the world that I don't know about and that aren't from the US, or there's something else going on. Pratham, really nice job just getting Parkersburg. You probably like managed to make it down the hill and see something. I just had to get like all of those pieces lined up in my brain. I had the West Virginia sign. Now, the 2/8, you can see that like West Virginia Route 2 runs pretty close to there, right? And we can also zoom in and see, yeah, the 2/8 was on the map, but barely. Barely. So do we think that there are two players from India that know the suburban streets of obscure West Virginia cities better than US Geoguessr, Professor? Maybe. If there are, I got my work cut out for me. But 4997 at the last second, yeah, that... Okay, so my first instinct of Pittsburgh there was not crazy. I thought it was crazy. Off the drop, I was like, Pittsburgh? But then I kept looking at the houses, and like it didn't make sense. Okay, Diamond Bollard. So Diamond Bollard in this instance probably means Montana. The Diamond Bollard is really common in Montana and the Dakotas, if I am not mistaken. Okay, Bozeman, Montana 406. So I had the Montana before the truck. Baseline Road East and Spring Hill. Baseline Road East and Spring Hill. We are on a road that is dead north-south. We have mountains directly to the east, north, and northeast. I'm going to go into Bozeman, and I think that would make sense. Given, yeah, Spring Hill, we got to be given the topography on Spring Hill and then Baseline Road going to the east. Let's see if we can get that. Okay, so I imagine, given Spring Hill Road here, that we got to be to the north. All right, so let's just like recap. Just moving, just seeing the bollards, thinking Montana, getting like a bearing on the mountains where we are, getting into Bozeman, like determining what side of Bozeman, 5K'ing it. That took me more than a minute and a half. And I have not even 5K'd it yet. I think we're more up here toward Ballantyne. Is that a thing? Or we could be perhaps a little bit farther south. Yeah. So doing all of that as an American, as someone who plays US Geoguessr for hours a week, I mean, I would say hours a day for sure. I mean, it's my main thing that I do outside of work, that's for sure. I'm still not sure I have the 5K after 3 minutes. Okay, I do have the 5K. Glowing Canyon, 899, of course, 5Ks again. So going back to the last challenge I've played, that is 7 straight 5Ks. Again, are you just like a US savant and I've never met you and I've never heard of you? Or is something weird going on? Pratham is, I'm just going to say, a player who I think is legit, but also a player who I think is really, really good. I'm sorry, I don't know the flag. It's Australia, I think. But, like, you've made some really good guesses. And, like, yeah, going close to Bozeman was great. But, wow. Okay, cool. I mean, it's a 5K. I mean, that's all I can do. Southeast 95th. I notice the soil is very red here. Southeast 95th and Towery. Boy, that's interesting. Okay, so we have some large Texas-looking houses, I would say. I'm not saying we're in Texas. I'm just saying they're Texas-looking houses. The giant roofs, for some reason, like, they love their roofs in Texas, right? Can you imagine, like, how much it would cost to replace one of these roofs? It's craziness. Okay, 405. 405, alternately 312. What? 405, 312. 405, 312. 405, 312. Southern Pines. The 312 is a Chicago code, which is really throwing me off. 415. Very, very large address. Very, very large address. Southern Pines everywhere. Numbered. Directionally numbered. Okay. Blue street signs. The trees are throwing me off, but with this kind of directional grid system, the only thing I have here is Kansas City, and I think it's a terrible guess. It's certainly not Texas, I don't think. And we're trapped in this, like, outer suburban neighborhood. But there's something about the rolling, like, hills to the west there. Like, here's West 95th. Would Southeast 95th, like, be a thing? I think also... Man, these pines are throwing me off. These pines are really throwing me off. But it's the directional. Southeast 95th Street. For some reason, the 95th is just making me want to go Kansas City. And if that's the case, Reldrik's really going to know it. No, it was Oklahoma City, which makes sense. That really makes sense. I was like a couple major cities off. I really wasn't getting anything there, though. I really wasn't getting anything. It really does make sense, though. The Southeast 95. Kansas also would have had no front plates, just like Oklahoma. It just, for some reason, I don't know why Oklahoma is just often a mental block. I'm not very good at those states out there in the plains, really. I need to improve. I need to be able to be better able to distinguish really between some of those grid systems, like what's a Kansas City grid system, what's a Lincoln grid system, what's yeah, I was kind of expecting to see an Illinois plate there and a Pace bus stop because we saw Zion, a church that said Zion, and here is Zion Benton Public Library. Zion is a far Chicago suburb that is right here, really on the lake in between Illinois and Wisconsin. Salem Boulevard and Gabriel Avenue. Salem Boulevard and Gabriel Avenue. It's interesting that I'm not getting any numbers. We're getting a lot of biblical names here, and I think this was where we were before, right? In this Dowie Memorial Circle. Integrity. So are we in the circle? Yeah, it looks like we're in the circle, looking northeast. Somewhere like here. Because if we go this way, okay, so again, it took me a couple minutes to pinpoint Shiloh and Dowie Memorial Drive. And we also had two other players 5K it. Good job. City of Murphy, North Hill, and McWhirter. This is making me much more confident about Texas. Although if we look here, that is definitely not a Texas flag, right? Not a Texas flag at all. Am I mistaking Tennessee for Texas again? I did that the other day, but I just can't imagine this being anywhere other than DFW. Although, yeah, front plate there. Murphy is, I want to say, a DFW suburb. But as I go into the zoom level, I do see it. Cool. McWhirter, North Hill. Now I'm wondering if Reldrik is going to get Oklahoma City. Probably, man. I'm kicking myself on that. The directional and the numbers, man. The Southeast 95. I knew that's happened to me a couple times now. I've been somewhere where I was like, man, this is Texas, huh? And then I see that there's that grid system, and I was like, nowhere in Texas has this. But, for some reason, the Oklahoma just doesn't register. So I'm going to go study the difference between that Kansas City grid and the Oklahoma City grid. Okay, well, I get Murphy, Texas. 22864. I made one major mistake there. I just didn't go Oklahoma City. But I want to see how Reldrik did. Let's compare our scores. Oh, I'm sorry, Reldrik, you did not do well. So that goes to show you, here is an American and a good player, right? He went Morgantown. That is an incredibly good guess, because I think there's even a neighborhood that's called North Hills in Morgantown on that Parkersburg round. I still feel good about that Parkersburg round. Wow. A near 5K there. In round 2, what happened? I 5K'd it. That was out there in Bozeman, Montana, right? Yes. Spring Hill Road, north of Bozeman, Montana. Reldrik. We didn't have very many clues. If you missed that truck, yeah, you were down there in Utah. That would have been a similar landscape. Oklahoma. Where did you go on Oklahoma, Reldrik? You went Kentucky. Okay, so you knew it wasn't Kansas City. You mentioned in a previous video you had some experience with Kansas City. I have no experience with Kansas City. I think I've been there once in my life as a child. And then I think I've been to their airport. The Zion, Illinois round. Yeah, that was a tough one. So I can't feel too bad getting close to a 23,000. Good job, Pratham, there. You did really a nice job. And then yet another 25,000 from Glowing Canyon 899. At this point, I'm just going to say that your Google skills are really, really good, Glowing. Like, you know how to Google American information, and you know how to pinpoint that Googling on a Google map. So I'm glad you showed us that. But as far as I'm concerned, the first legitimate score is Pratham, and really nice job, 23,750. So thanks, Reldrik. I'm sorry you didn't do too bad or too well on that challenge. What was the magic bus all about? I'm going to have to watch your video. I did not find a magic bus. I'm going to have to see what that's all about. So I'm going to check out his channel next. You should do the same, GeoGuessing with Reldrik. Also, check out all of the good US Geoguessr content that I have on my own channel, US Geoguessr Professor. Thank you for watching, and I'll check you the next time.